Hello, my name is former President Donald Trump. So couldn't resist. I'm sorry. Gosh, darn it. Politics again. Welcome, Pro-Synth Network Live episode 224. Sorry, we're a little bit late. I've just installed the latest CrowdStrike update. Hopefully nothing will go wrong.
I'm dying.
Yeah, we're all... Oh, I'm going to tell you about a dream I had last night, and it's awful. And I actually did consider not talking about it because I didn't want it to come true. But that's just rubbish. But no, I'll tell you later. I'll keep you on tenterhooks. Welcome to the show. We're live. I haven't had a shave again. I'm hot, sweaty, and I do apologise, not really, for the fan noise in the background and any road noise because I've got the windows open because it's hotter than...
You have a
insert.
Fan.
I know, Kent, what's it hotter than at the moment?
Range Rover exhaust pipe?
Hotter than a Range Rover exhaust pipe?
After a trip to Doncaster and back.
Yeah, it's very warm. And because we're in England, we're just not used to this. We complain about it when it's not like this. And then when we get here, it's like, oh, it's too hot. But it's rather warm. So sweaty Betties and all that. I'm naked from the waist down, by the way. Just put that picture in your head. Welcome to this wonderful show about synthesizers. You'd never guess, would you? Synthesizers, music technology, and all of that good stuff. It's Friday, the 19th of July, and we're live here on YouTube. I'll tell you where we're not live at the moment, Twitter. Because today, or as of today, anyway, for me, or for this channel, we can only stream now to Twitter if we have a premium Twitter account, and I'm not giving Elon Musk anything. In fact, I'm just going to cancel the whole Twitter thing. You can stuff it up his Cybertruck backside for all I care. So if you've been watching us on Twitter, which I don't think a lot of people do, I'm very sorry, but I'm not forking out money to him to do that.
I think what you mean is he can go and Cybertruck himself. Yes.
That's the what. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for that.
I'm still writing here.
Yes, it's brilliant. You're doing very well. So yeah, here we are. It's another show. We're live again, as you can probably tell, because I think we'd have edited the entire first 3 minutes of the show out completely. We're going to be talking about some stuff that's happened in the music technology world over this past week.
Surely
we'll
not.
be talking. Well, there's not a lot to talk about, to be honest. But I'm sure we'll fill 2 hours with rubbish. We've managed the first 5 minutes already. Anyhow, before we do go on and do all of that kind of stuff, then let me just please remind you that you can give us a like, a thumbs up, or even a thumbs down if you really don't like us. 1 or 2 people each week don't.
Oh.
So why do they watch? Why? I'm curious, honestly. I think that YouTube should put a little feature in there. When you click a thumbs down, they should say, would you tell the people that run the show why you click? Because then we can do something about it. Otherwise...
Perhaps they don't like our elitist, old fogey approach to synthesizers.
That's it, our elitist,
our
snobby attitude.
Snobby attitude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because apparently... no synthesizer under £5,000 or dollars or euros is worth crap, allegedly. That's apparently our mantra.
Which is different from what we said, which was any synth that cost £5,000 had better be good.
Had better be good for 5,000, indeed. Anyway, give us a like, thumbs up or a thumbs down. We prefer as the thumbs up, but hey. If you want to comment throughout the show, then you can do that through the chat facilities on the platform in which you are watching. Obviously not Twitter anymore, but Facebook, Twitch, and of course YouTube, where I believe the majority of you lot are watching us from. You can click those buttons there. Subscribe if you haven't already. It does make a difference, not just to our egos, but to our algorithmic interactions. The more subscribers we have, the more chance we get pushed into everyone's you must watch this list, and then we hopefully get some more subscribers, more viewers, and so on and so forth. And click the bell for notifications. We do a live show every week, and every now and again we'll have a special. We do have a special, couple of special things coming up, one of which we'll probably talk about later. The other one is a surprise. So yeah, and of course, if you know somebody who would like this show, then please share it with them. That would be fantastic. So that's that. And of course, if you want to support us, because we are completely reliant on your charity, even though we're not a registered charity, you can donate to us and help support us in one of two ways. The first way, which is probably the best way to do it, is through Patreon. Patreon.com/ProSynth Network. We have our own Patreon page, and on that page, if you subscribe for a minimum of just $2 a month, or whatever currency you wish to donate in, you can get early access to video content. You can get presets for things like Cherry Audio's Chroma, the exclusive videos from Cherry Audio, sounds for the Cobalt 8 from Argon, sounds for Cherry Audio's GX80. You can see some fat bloke telling you why you should like the original PolyBrute, and soon he'll be telling you why you should like the new PolyBrute. There's Mark Barnes, who is currently holidaying. Well, I say holiday, it's kind of like a work a day. It's like a busman's holiday. He's currently in Italy, I think, with his band doing weddings in Italy. Lucky sod.
Oh.
JDXA sounds from Mark, and ASM Hydrosynth sounds from Mark, and lots of other bits and bobs. So you do get stuff. There is content available on our Patreon page, and all you got to do is just subscribe for just a minimum of $2 a month, and you help keep the channel going. The other way you can do it, of course, is through YouTube memberships. Same sort of deal, minimum $2 a month, and that way you get the warm fuzzy feeling of keeping these three old snobby elitist fogies on air for yet another week or so as we try to shill our way through the music technology industry. And we try, and also if you are a YouTube member, we do our very best to get you the same freebies as our Patreon subscribers do as well. So whichever is you find most convenient, then take your pick. Of course, you don't have to do that, because we just do this for the fun of it, and all your money goes towards the channel and helping keeping it going through the licenses and the hardware and all the software and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we have there. And of course, you can find us across all of the social media networks too. If you have a question throughout the show, then you can pop that question into the chat, but stick a big capital Q in front of it so that we can see it. It just helps us pick it out and puts it into a little special bucket where we go and grab that question, and we'll ask it at some point during the show. And that, ladies and gentlemen,
it occurs to me, who will be the first one to actually pop the question in the chat on the show?
Do you know, when I was doing internet radio many years ago, an old school friend of mine used to listen, and she met a guy in the chat room listening to my radio show, and they since shacked up and moved to Scotland. There you go, match.
So they can't get it anymore.
Well, no, because I don't do the radio show anymore.
Yeah, well, there you go.
But yeah, it's it has happened. It has happened. I mean, predominantly, I think, apart from the odd one or two like Babs, and maybe one or two others, it's mostly all men in there, which is fine. Okay, you know, we might have our first same-sex couple. Who knows?
Lady Aptitude's in.
It would be. Is she there, Babs?
Yeah.
By the way, if you haven't already seen Babs's video, how do you, Juno, then get to it, because it's on her. I'll try and pick the link out later on. It's super cool. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's very clever. And I know this is a synthesizer show, and we talk about synths a lot, but my word, that woman's chops on guitar are something to behold. And yeah. Anyway, I'm getting all hot and bothered. It's just the weather. That's what it is. Anyway, we'll move on. Thank you, Matt Evans, sweatier than the CrowdStrike employee, or the CrowdStrike CEO, who failed to apologise at the start, and has that now been sort of shamed into apologising for his massive cock-up, or his company's massive cock-up. But thank you for your donation, Matt. Much appreciated. So let me bring in faces to those voices that you heard in the background. First of all the way down there in Frome, or thereabouts, or Stroud, not Frome, that's Ian. This one's in Stroud. Apparently Frome's a lot better than Stroud, but there you go.
Yeah, it's a better neighbourhood, better people,
How
better
are
class
you?
of people there. I'm very lovely.
Jolly good. Are you hot?
I am hot. I'm sticky, as you can tell from my name, which I will now change. Let's just Let's just check.
I really should check. Sorry, I got a mouthful of ice because I'm really hot.
Yeah, I've got a mouthful of something. Anyway, there we go. So, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
I'm working on the. I'm still working on the. This. I've done an unboxing video and
Lovely.
done some reviewy stuff on it, and it's a lovely. It's a
very good little synth. Its sound betrays its diminutive size.
And that will be going up on Patreon. If you can be asked to watch me here, then you can be asked to watch something there, and it's there for you to take the mick out of. From
Absolutely.
This privileged, snobby, very rich, old person who knows nothing about synthesizers.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we do.
Elitist.
We're elitist, yes. Well, did you know that the original name for the Pro Synth Network was Synth Elite? And we very quickly changed it.
Yeah. Lord Synth.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
It wasn't great. Anyway, thank you, Andrew. He was spectacularly on time today, so we have to give him credit. We have to give credit to the clock downstairs, which was set fast. It's Mr. Ken Spong.
Yes.
Or, as he's now known, Lily's dad.
Lily's dad, yes. And
How
where
is
the hell
Lily?
did that golf club come from?
How is she? She better?
Mate, yeah. We have, I think, spawned the world's most sneaky thief going. Nothing. Can't find shoes. Like I say, all the water bowls, food bowls, all out in the garden every morning. To be honest, tobacco, a lighter.
Good.
That's a habit you want to discourage.
She stole her iPad, and it was still playing the audio book in the garden when I came down in the morning. So yeah, she's learned how to come up the stairs on her own and down the stairs on her own.
That's it.
Yeah. So,
Oops.
we've had nothing but fun. So,
Jolly good.
well, look, if the news runs out early, we do have an unboxing.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, now what could this possibly be? I'll
it's
give
got
you a clue. It's 120 quid. I mean, it's that big.
And it's got gears all over it.
Because it comes from Gear Music.
I see.
Might it be a theremin?
120 quid. What's 120?
Oh.
Okay.
Personally, I think I got it for a very good price.
Answers on the postcard.
True.
In fact, if you have a suggestion or a guess at what that is, stick it in the chat. Use the capital Q, and then we'll just queue those up, and we'll go through those and see how many people got it. I had an unboxing today, but it's one that I can't put on the camera yet. But I had to take it out because I've got to review it. But
Have you blown it
yeah,
up?
not yet.
Oh, okay.
But it's very nice.
Oh, cool.
I have to say, it's very nice. And I finally got my Top Gun limited edition soundtrack. Oh, and it was worth. What was it? March. I ordered this, so it's like 4 months wait, and being ripped. I still haven't had the full refund, although he says he's issued it. The original person I bought one from hasn't put the money in my bank yet. But if you are a Harold Faltermeyer fan, which you all really should be, it's the first time that his score for Top Gun has been released in its entirety, along with 3 different early demo versions of the Top Gun theme, which is an interesting listen, because you can. I love listening to these kind of sequential demos where you hear the song
Development.
Yeah, I mean the DX7 didn't make an appearance, I don't think, until like the second or third version. And when I was reading through the line notes, the only synthesizer he mentions, Faltermeyer, in the line notes is the DX7, and the TX816.
Can we deal with something really quickly?
Go for it.
I mean, seriously.
I'd say it's definitely the latter.
Yeah.
Really?
But then, we're just three old snobby.
If we didn't post this, they go, you see, they're trying to cover it up. No. Synth Mafia. What? I mean, go and play.
As an
Go and
Italian, I can tell you. No, I can't tell you if I'm in the mafia or not.
No, you can't.
No, that's the whole point.
Because if I tell you, it has to kill you. No. You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. Anyway.
Yeah. So it's the cosy nostrils. No, it's
cozy,
nonsense.
Indeed, yes.
It's
That's about
nonsense. So just so anyone watching this is clear, do you know how much we get paid by all these manufacturers for doing this?
And I was talking to you guys before we came on air. Well, certainly Andrew, I think Kent wasn't here. But if you think that we are part of it, a group of people who have exclusive, privileged access or whatever.
Yeah, they do. Don't worry, mate.
You need to. You need or needed to have been involved in the conversations I was having yesterday with a certain synthesizer manufacturer's PR company who have massively failed. And if I was part of a synth mafia, then
he was joking, you know.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, no. However, just to put it out there for everyone, if we get asked to do something or to look at something or we get to talk to these men, it's because we work really hard behind the scenes talking to people and just building up. This is relationships. This is about people liking people and people trusting you not to squonk something up, not to give them favourable reviews, not to do what they want, but to actually give an honest opinion. And you've all seen it changes from week to week. Sorry, Robbie, go ahead.
And most importantly, where no information exists, we do not make stuff up to fill those gaps in the knowledge.
I do.
So, well, you might.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
All right, to be fair, though, I have killed somebody for buying a CS80 clone. But that's by the by.
Yeah.
Well, they deserve that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody's going to find a body, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't bring any more.
What body?
Under a stone in Canada.
What body?
Ain't nobody.
Yeah, definitely ain't nobody.
Come on
Right.
then,
Sorry.
first news subject.
Shall we do
week.
some actual news? Some
Yeah, go
genuine
on.
news. Okay. Hard or soft?
At the moment, soft.
Oh, semi.
Let's go
Oh,
for
that's
a semi.
either.
Yeah,
That's not good.
I know.
Oh, well.
Go for something in the middle, Rob.
And that's
Go
the
for
best
something in the
you
middle.
can expect.
Go for something in the middle.
I'll tell you what. Let's play a trailer video and then we'll talk about the thing what's in that trailer video.
That's a good idea. There we go. This is new from UVI, and you'll pardon me if I'm not incredibly excited about this one, but this is the H-8JX, which is an odd name, but HX is their kind of brand for, excuse me, where they take a classic synthesizer and give it a special twist, a little lemon twist. I make it at the back. It's nice, you like. Sorry, I've just been watching too many Beverly Hills Cops. The legend returns, apparently. See, this is the odd thing. This is supposed to not be the thing that it's aping, but they say the legend is returning. This is based off, as you might have guessed from the name, it's based off the ARP Odyssey, although they don't obviously reference that in name on the website. This is a blend of ARP Odyssey features and sounds with other things such as wave tables and bits and bobs.
And it's got a nice little interface, as you can see there, nice and flat and easy to navigate around. And it comes with all of the features that you would normally expect from a UVI instrument. It's currently retailing for €49, will be 79 after that introductory offer finishes. And my instant reaction to this, I don't know about you guys, I'll ask you in just a moment, my instant reaction was, do we need another Odyssey? I mentioned this on our Facebook page and was promptly told it's not just a mimic of the Odyssey. It goes beyond it. It uses it as its inspiration, and that's a fair point. I haven't tried this myself yet, but as you can see, it's got lots and lots of features, and it kind of centers itself around that kind of classic ARP Odyssey sound. And UVI instruments are really nice. 3.6 gigabytes. And of course, one of the arguments is, well, you can download an ARP Odyssey plugin. There are a number of them out there, and it will only take up a few megabytes on your storage drive, whereas this will take up nearly 3.5 gigs. I don't know. I wasn't sort of like, going, oh yes, I must download this and have a go. But what do you guys think? Andrew, I know you said you kind of agreed.
I've looked at it. Yeah. Well, here's where I am. It's not an Odyssey. To start with, it's not an Odyssey. It's an Axe, because it's only got a single oscillator. That's,
right.
That's what I think is the case. Although I might be wrong. Although maybe I've got that bit wrong. But regardless. It's not really an Odyssey, and throwing this extra thing in, I think it's kind of mixing two separate bits, and it diminishes both of them. I'd rather have another Odyssey 3 and mix it with another plugin that does all the things this is supposed to do with either wavetables or samples. I'm not sure I see the point. I like UVI. I really like UVI, but this just feels like a let's just throw something together, throw it out there, and see if it sticks, and charge $49 for it. I don't see the point of this. I really don't. And there's nothing. By the way, there's nothing in the sounds that I've heard that is making me go, wow.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel particularly Odyssey-y.
Yeah. I mean, the HX series, as they say on the website, is their sort of line of hybrids. So they take inspiration from an existing instrument and then throw some interesting stuff at it. So what they've done is they've taken some wavetables that are based on Odyssey sounds. They've taken Odyssey samples, and then they've got their own modeled filters and what have you, and then they package it up into the UVI workstation and/or Falcon, which allows you to use things like the arpeggiators and the effects sections that come with that. And there's no doubt for €49, this is a lovely instrument, albeit actually I said it was 3.5. It's near a 4 gig of storage space, which is almost 6 gigs compressed. 281 presets, 181 layers, and over nearly 13,500 samples. The quality of this stuff is unquestionable. They always do very, very, very good stuff. But I'm just questioning the need for another Odyssey-like instrument. I mean, if I want something that's got Oddity DNA, but I want to do wild and crazy stuff with it, then I'll buy GeForce's Oddity 3, which is exactly that, and it's a properly modelled synthesizer rather than nearly 4 gig of sample space. Mr. Spong, what think you? It's the Spong silence.
Yeah, it says so much.
And
I think what this appeal, the appeal of this will be, is that I think it's got a more quirky approach than the normal way of doing things.
True.
Which could produce, without having heard it or anything properly yet, myself, a more quirky, different way of working.
Mm-hmm.
The sequencer is different to how the GeForce one is done, and all that sort of thing. All this kind of thing, and it will speak differently to different people. So, Yeah, I mean, it's not like there's not enough room in the shops for all of these things, so go for it.
Yeah.
Basically, have a listen. If it tickles your prunes, go for it.
Or kittens.
Or kittens, even.
Yes.
Wanted kitten tickle.
Or raisins.
So, I mean, we don't have to go down the road of, well, does it sound like an Odyssey? No, it doesn't.
No.
Cool. Okay, that doesn't matter.
No.
I don't think that was it's sort of like it's laid out like an Odyssey. It does things like an Odyssey, and it does other things besides, and it's another instrument to explore. You either get on with it or you don't, sort of thing.
That was very diplomatic.
I'd love to hear from them.
Yeah, I'm fine about it, to be honest. That's all right.
Yeah.
I've just got old. I'm bored.
I'd like to hear from them as to what the thinking was behind this, because maybe we're missing, maybe I'm missing something, and it's entirely possible because I am old and smelly and elitist. But I just don't get it. I've got the Odyssey. Why would I? I've got so many other things. I'm not sure what this is doing that's that different. The sequencer is the same as in all the other UVI stuff. So I'm kind of maybe it's just for people that already have UVI collections.
I mean, if you're a Sonic Pass subscriber, then this is thrown in you at no extra cost. It's there,
and then it has a
great
point
value.
if you haven't got.
I love the
any
UVI
of the
stuff.
other things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got tons of
it's
it. I
good.
love it. It's really good.
I love the way
But
it's done.
let me throw this one at you. So
Go on in.
20 years ago, okay, early 2000s, we had some software plugins. They weren't fantastic, certainly by today's standards. There was a bit of there'd been a bit of an analog resurgence in the 90s, but old analog gear was either becoming incredibly expensive because it was in such high demand and such low stock and supply, and so lots of companies started jumping on the bandwagon of, well, why don't we sample an analog synthesizer and we make that available as a big sample library? And there was an absolute plethora of sample libraries in the early 2000s and mid 2000s, probably beyond, of sample libraries that were just sample libraries of hardware analog stuff. So a company would get hold of one, sample the hell out of it, put it out of a library, and everyone would go, oh, that's amazing, I've got all of these, for example, ARP Odyssey sounds in my Akai sampler or as a native instruments contact plugin or library or whatever. But of course, what's happened since then is analog modeling techniques have improved to the point where many plugins are almost indistinguishable from those that they are aping. Do we need sample libraries anymore when it comes to sort of recreating analog instruments? Because we are so good at doing that, and I say we, the developers that do that, are so good at that. We don't need sample-based stuff.
Well, it depends. It depends on what the samples are like. I mean, like you say, we now have the technologies that we can manipulate samples live as it happens, as opposed to them being, static like they used to be back in the old days. But yeah, why not? Hard drive space isn't exactly expensive.
No, this is true, but I don't know whether it's me. I've got a mental kind of block on the fact that if I've got an ARP Odyssey plugin that completely recreates the entire workings and sound of a hardware ARP Odyssey, or I've got a sample-based version, not necessarily this one, but just a sample-based version, I will see the sample-based version as limited in the fact that, other than what other sound shaping tools they provide me, I'm more free in the modelled version than I am in the sampled version. Does that make sense?
Well,
I think it depends on what it provides.
Yeah.
It's just how it's.
I used to do a lot of demos with samplers where I just sample single cycle samples of different synths with different, their oscillators set differently, just so we had the raw thing, all the different bits in between. and then use sample start and modulation to change the essentially to do pulse width, that kind of stuff. And you could tell the difference between different single cycle instruments, different single cycle sounds to an extent, and it was always good. We always used to get a lot of interest in doing that, not using the sampler for a great big thing, but using it as a synth engine. That was always good. So, I get it. And to be honest, maybe I'm just hot and bothered, and I need to go and get a life and actually listen to this properly. Go and actually download it and listen to it properly, because UVI do great stuff.
It's going to be good. Okay, we know that because UVI have got a high level of quality control, and it will be good. There's no doubt about it. But I'm like, I don't know. Some years ago, I would have said, yeah, absolutely, because some years ago, a lot of what I had was sample based. I had samplers. That's how I've got stacks of sample CDs and stuff where I've got old analog synthesizers sampled to the hilt. But now I don't need that, because now I can pick up a plugin from a reputable manufacturer such as GeForce or Cherry Audio or Korg, who we'll come to later on today, who do an amazing job of recreating the hardware to almost down to the tiniest detail. And for me, that says it's more flexible than a sample-based thing. However, I guess it's horses for courses.
Well, I still find like the orchestral stuff that's sample based rather than synth engine based to be superior.
Oh yeah. So for certain things, they're absolutely.
But it could work for this. It could work. It depends on what those samples are.
Yeah. I think for something like an orchestra, then samples are right still to this day the best option. Properly, anything by the likes of Spitfire or East West or all of those.
Yeah, but I mean that's 3 gig. That's nothing. You can snip at that. The Philharmonic Viola is 78 gig.
I know.
It's one sound.
Yeah.
And then there's things like the wave stations, which we all adored. They were good, and they were that was clearly a sample thing which you could scan through, and all sorts of iteration. The Rolands with their their drum loops or their percussive loops and jangly belly things. So. Yeah, maybe I'm jumping a bit hard on this, but honestly, I don't. It doesn't. It's not something that I yearn for at all.
There used to be a time when UVI put something out, and I'd go,
yeah,
and I was downloading it before I'd even finished thinking about it. This one came through, and I was like, oh, okay, and just moved on because it just didn't leap out, and maybe I'm just not the target audience. But there you go.
No, that's probably what it is.
Yeah,
that is pretty much.
But if you're a Sonic Pass owner,
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Couldn't agree. I was just about to say pretty much the same thing. If you're a Sonic Pass owner, at €24 a month or €240 a year, and that's the same in dollars as well, you have got a vast amount of content at your fingertips, and it's all top-notch quality. And Falcon, to this day, is still, in my opinion, one of the greatest software synthesizers ever made. And I'll fight anyone that disagrees. It's an amazing tool, and of course these will all work in that. And if you've got Falcon, you can actually take those sample libraries and really get into the weeds and do all sorts of wonderful stuff with it. If you're just using the workstation, you're kind of limited to what's delivered, which is also very good. But I don't get me wrong, I'm not being down on UVI or this in particular. Just but it's only €49 at the moment.
You wanted something that was going to be a bit more.
Yeah. I remember how excited I got when they released emulation, which was all of the emulator stuff. 1, 2, and 3, in a package, and the drumulator and all that kind of stuff. I got excited about that. I got excited about Falcon. I got excited about a lot of their stuff, but this maybe not so much. So, but it takes your money, and
maybe it's a way of maybe it's a way of differentiating themselves. By having this additional thing. Maybe that's the deal.
They are superb at what they do.
Yeah. Well, just as a random segue here, while I think of it, because you just mentioned it, I have a Emulator 3 floppy disk emulator.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
anybody want it? It's brand new and boxed.
Wow.
If anybody wants it, just hit me up.
That's the 3.5-inch replacement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Emulator 3, floppy disk emulator. An emulator for an emulator.
Yeah.
So it's got the OS or something burnt onto it, or is it an actual just floppy drive?
It's a USB.
It's not a floppy drive. It's a board.
It fits
It's a board.
into the floppy drive's
It goes into
bay,
the slot.
and on the front of the bay, front of the drive, you've got a little display screen, a little knob, a couple of buttons, and a USB socket, and everything is on USB as disk images.
Plug the pen in and off you go.
You can have
Mm.
gazillions of sounds at your fingertips. Anyway, so there you go. That is UVI's H-8JX Oddie. It's available now from uvi.com. It's €49 as an introductory offer, and we'll go up to 79 when that offer ends. And I don't know when that is. They haven't said. I couldn't see it on there anyway. Right, let's talk about some more software that is that literally came out just today. And this one again, I didn't get massively excited. Sorry to I don't want to steal anyone's thunder here, but I didn't get particularly excited about this. And I'm going to stop it there because the rest of the advert is about what's already in the Korg Collection, which is now updated to version 5. And version 5 now includes, as you saw in the video there, it includes the ARP 2600, the Vox Continental, and the EP1, which is basically the Nautilus stroke Kronos electric piano engine, although I'm told it's not compatible with the one that's in the Nautilus and the Kronos. So yeah, you can't swap sounds between them. However, 3 new instruments added to the collection. If you own the collection already, certainly version 4, because that's the only one I can speak about because that's what I've got, the upgrade is only $99. Now, I've criticised Korg in the past for being rather expensive when it comes to this thing, but I've got to say $99 for the upgrade, I think that's priced about right, because that's what, 70 something UK pounds. And to get the ARP 2600, which I did have a go on at the Synth Mafia Summer Getaway in Berlin, Super Booth. They'll catch me out, won't they? So yeah, the ARP 2600 software version is incredibly good, I have to say, because the implementation has been done in a very clever way. It's the team behind this are the team that's led by Dan Phillips, who is they're the same team, same R&D team behind the Wave State and the Op6 and the Mod Wave and all of that stuff. So they're knocking out some incredibly good stuff at the moment. So you get the ARP 2600. You then, as you can see there on the right, you get a Vox Continental, which has a definitive place in music history. especially in the 1960s, and then later on in the 70s with the ska and all that kind of stuff over here in the UK. And then you've got the electric piano thing, which has about 7 different electric piano models. There's Rhodes models in there, there's Wurlitzer models, and so on and so forth. So it's Korg Collection is actually turning into quite an extensive, useful collection of tools. There's plenty of other things that we can have from Korg, I guess, in the future, and maybe one day they'll give us those, Delta, Lambda, Trident, all of that stuff that would just be brilliant to have. I know that most of those you can get from the wonderful Full Bucket Music for nothing, but it would be nice to see Korg branded ones. I was half expecting something else in here, but it's not, and I don't want to say what it is because I was speaking with Dan yesterday, and Dan says maybe some more things coming down the line, and so maybe that's what it is, because I saw something at Super Booth that wasn't on display, but somebody was walking around with something on a laptop, and I thought that looks like a, and so maybe that's, I don't know, who knows, we're speculating, but we shall see. So thoughts on this? We'll go to Mr. Spong first, because until recently you had a Tonus behind you there. That's down in the workshop, is it now?
Yeah, the Tonus is in the workshop at the moment, yes.
How long is that one hanging around, by the way? Just out of interest.
Quite a while, because
Good.
it's very, very sick.
Oh.
Yeah, and it has the keyboard. I mean, even a horse couldn't walk across that keyboard. It is everywhere. It's up, down, left, right. Mate, it's a mess. But anyway, yes, I don't really have a lot to say on this because I didn't go down the Korg road. I didn't knock on the Korg door. I knocked on the Arturia door, and I went, "Hello, I would like some of your wares, please." And they go, "Right, how much do you want?" "Well, all of it, please, thank you very much." And getting the Korg stuff would be buying everything again, essentially. So no, I don't really have any particular things to say about it, other than the Fender Rhodes to me sounded a little off, and I don't know why. But there you go. But it might be the way it was mixed. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just there was something like, huh?
To me, that's of the three. Okay, of the three, that EP1 package is the one that makes me go, really? You didn't do something else that was a bit more interesting, maybe hasn't been done before, and you went down. But that's fine. I get it. And the 2600, I mean, I know we've got 2600s coming out of the wazoo when it comes to software recreations. According to Korg, this version is they reckon it's the one that gets the closest. And this was an odd thing to put out there, but maybe, I don't know. They said it was the closest thing, because when you bought a 2600, you got a patch book which had 100 patches in it that you can make with your Korg 2600. With your ARP 2600. And apparently this one gets the closest to all 100 of those patches as an original hardware version. Well, that was their claim. I've paraphrased it quite terribly there, but yeah. Look, I mean, the Korg ARP hardware is very good. Whether it's the full size version or the mini version, it's very good. So the software version ought to be the same. So yeah, I don't know. Old grey-haired fart with the emu stuff behind him. What do you reckon?
I'm actually, I get this. Having just lumped into UVI for having an Odyssey, which has other bits on it, which even now I'm regretting saying. But having done that, it's good that they've done something. It's great, and it's good because it's a hole in their library, and for anyone that needs it, it's great. This is the same for Korg. They've put 3 new instruments in which fill a hole that was really it needed filling. So the 2600, it was clear they should have done this before, and it's good that they have. They've already got the Poly 6, the MS-20, the ARP Odyssey, curiously. So they've already got all those kinds of things. They didn't have the 2600. They didn't have an electric piano, which if you're buying one library, it's $249 for the whole thing. It's normally $399.
Yeah, the intro price on this is pretty good.
$249 for everything, and you get the Viscount. The Viscount's not really been given any attention very much, and it sounded a bit dodgy in there, but it is that sound. That is a sound that was very, Elvis Costello and all those guys used to use it.
Yeah.
So, and the claim they make that this is the only emulation of the 2600 which will play all of the 100 patches from the songbook
as accurately,
or more accurately than anything else. I've no idea. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Funny.
But they do good stuff, and there's So if you're going, I guess what I'm saying is, if you're going for a library, this has now been made a little bit more complete by having the electric piano, the organ, and the 2600, and I'm sure they're going to add to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we're going to be diplomatic here, not everyone is fortunate enough to own multiple libraries. Whether it's Arturia, whether it's Korg, whether it's Cherry Audio, or whatever. So if, as you say, if you've invested in the Korg collection, then this is a nice addition, and it broadens the spectrum of what you can have in there. And look, the Korg stuff is very, very good. Again, it is very, very good stuff. So we shall see. But I like this, and it looks like they finally listened to all the people that were moaning about the prices, and they've made this a lot more attractive financially for what you get. I was very surprised at because I think the last time I had to upgrade it was 199. Now it's 99. I don't know if that's a limited offer, but no, the collection. Half God was asking if the collection includes the OP6 Wave State and ModWave native plugins. It doesn't. Those are still separate, and I can kind of see why, but it would be nice. Those are actually very good plugins. I'm super glad that they made those as plugins, because I wasn't keen on the hardware itself. I was keen on what was inside, but not the actual 37 key plasticky no aftertouch stuff. So I was very glad that they put those into software, and they are very, very good. And there's a gazillion really fantastic patches for them out there. But I like the Korg collection, and I hope that they carry on. I hope that they just go a little bit off to the left and start picking up those old classics. Even where's the PS? Where is the Trident? Where are those poly ensembles? The PE, is it 1000 and the 2000?
2000.
Yeah. I mean, they've got a rich vein of content to mine for this thing. So it will be good to see if they.
Manny's made an interesting observation here as well. Did they do it on their reissue or vintage 2600? The sound is very different. I don't know, but
given the claim that they made that this is the closest you'll get to being able to accurately reproduce those 100 patches in the patch book, I would imagine they've modelled this on the original.
And I've got a couple of 2600 plugins. I'm kind of tempted by this. I have to say, I want to try it, because the 2600 is a unique instrument, and I also like the Viscount. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but once you start banging it through pedals, it's a brilliant thing. Yeah. So the electric piano. If you've got the collection already, having a good electric piano, it's a good thing.
Yeah. It's a good thing. Absolutely. And because Korg now not only do they own the brand to put on synthesizers anyway of ARP, they bought Vox in the 90s, I think, or the 80s or the 90s. They bought that.
Yeah.
So, it's nice that they've done it. And I don't think there's a Vox Continental. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm just trying to think. Was there a Vox? I know there's a Farfisa. Maybe there. I don't think. I'm trying to think.
There have been sample libraries which include some samples from the Vox Continental, but it's not the same as modelling one.
I think even Omnisphere had one.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yes, they did. Yeah.
But hats off to Korg. 3 nice little additions. I know lots of people going, "Oh, it hasn't got this or it hasn't got that," and I'm one of those people. But I'll take what I get.
So if it's hats off to Korg, then it's also hats off to UVI.
Oh yeah, I wasn't saying no.
I was being a bit mean. I was being a bit.
Don't worry about it. I'm sure they're thick-skinned. They're thick-skinned.
Yeah, it won't affect sales now.
No.
No, not at all.
No.
More people will go out and buy because
Do Arturia do a Vox? Oh, they do. Of course they do. Why can I forget Arturia's Vox? Yeah, they do the Vox Continental. They do it. Of course they do. Thank you, Wookie.
Yeah.
See, it's the heat. It's messing with my head. No, you're
How
right.
many times have you used it?
Exactly. That's probably why I've forgotten about it. I probably tinkered with it when it first came out, and go, oh yeah, that's nice. Not my sort of music. It doesn't fit in.
Now, I know somebody who uses Vox Continentals a lot, but they got a real one. But my God, it's breaking down every 10 seconds. Yeah. She's dragging it down here from up north of you regularly because her voice has gone on it.
All right. What was I going to say? I was listening. So we're referring back to Top Gun soundtrack. Okay.
All right.
I was listening to. There's a version. There's a piece of music in the actual score that is heavily Danger Zone related, and so it's a large instrumental piece, and so it's got all the it's just the instrumental piece, and I never picked up on the cheesy organ that's in that riff, that there's an organ going on, and you just don't hear it when there's vocals and stuff, and I just wow, and that sounded very voxy, farfesery type sort of thing. I might be wrong, could be something else, but I never noticed that. So maybe I will dig out my Arturia Vox and see if I can mess around with that. Anyway. Korg Collection version 5 is out now. Prices may vary depending on your ownership of previous versions, but it looks like, certainly when I checked my upgrade price from version 4 to 5, it was $99 US, and the introductory offer on the whole thing is $299 US, which I think is about 249 UK pounds, which is a rather good price to pay for. What do you get in there now? So you get the 2600, the EP1, the Vox Super Continental, the Micro Korg, the Electro Bar, the Chaos Pad, the Mini Korg 700S, the Prophecy, the Triton Extreme, the Triton, the Odyssey, the MS-20, the Poly 6, the Monopoly, the M1, the Wave Station, and MDEX, which is the multi-effects thing as well, which is quite a handy little tool to have. So you get a lot for your money now.
800 DV.
And
there you go. There's another one.
I look at Sonic Pass.
Yeah.
It's 1,000 plus instruments and effects for 240 a year. 24 quid a month.
Yeah.
Pays your money, takes your choice.
Yeah. Indeed.
Absolutely.
Everyone is different. Right, let's talk about some hardware, shall we? It's been an interesting week in the hardware world because Behringer are doing their annual cycle of stuff. So it's very kind of like it's like a sine wave, isn't it? They ramp up, they talk about stuff, and then they go away again. And they ramp up and they talk about stuff, and they go away again. And they've ramped up and talked about a couple of new things that have come out this week. The first of which I'm just going to play the very beginning of this because it does go on a bit, is the UB-Xa desktop.
So I think most of us would agree that the UB-Xa is a pretty awesome synthesizer. It sounds warm and fat, and it has a whopping 16 voices. But there is one small detail that isn't always apparent. That it is, in fact, a gigantic fracking monster.
He's so fast on the runway. That's a long one again. Oh my goodness, that is history in the making. That's a world record.
You see, the UB-Xa is in actual fact the size of a car. Albeit the smallest car in the world, however, the point isn't lost on 7 out of 10 synthesists who say they can simply no longer afford the space. But all that is thankfully about to change. Yes, all of us spatially challenged producers can finally sleep easy, It's the UB-Xa desktop.
There it is, UB-Xa in desktop version. They spoke about this over 2 years ago. It is finally shipping from the factory. If you place an order now, you can expect it to arrive in maybe 6 to 8 weeks or so. So, look, the UB-Xa has become, in certain retailers, it has become their biggest selling synth. And there's absolutely no reason to wonder why that is, because it's 16 voice polyphonic analog synth with polyphonic aftertouch, and by all accounts sounds pretty good. Now it's in a desktop version. I'm a little bit confused. I will ask the question, maybe somebody in the chat knows about the screen, but they've put it into a desktop version that also comes with and I don't know if I've got the picture here. There it is, with rack ears as well, so you can actually put it in a rack, and that will keep Wagyu happy if he wants one of these. So yeah, it's now completely squeezed into a box where you can have either wood end cheeks or rack mounts. It's got all the connectivity of the original keyboard version, but there it is. The UB-Xa D is available now, and it's going to retail for around €840. So that's probably what, $799 UK ish. I don't know what that is in US. Probably about 850, 900, 899 or something like that. So it's not a bad price for what you get. It's a 16-voice polyphonic analog synth. You can't, deny that that's incredible value for money. And now in desktop form. What do we think?
It's great.
Yep.
$699 looks like the RRP over here, and it will probably drop down
better.
Street price about $650.
That's about half of what the keyboard is, isn't it?
It's a quarter of what the other one is, and it's 16 voices and it's multi-timbral. A lot of people, put all the other stuff to one side. It's a hell of an instrument. 16 voice poly. It doesn't sound bad either. And the control layout, the actual layout of the surface, the controls and how you access it, it's good. They're going to do really well from it. And, I think it's a that price, it's stupidly good. 16 voice analog poly for $699.
Yeah. Now, it's funny because I guess it's because I watched the Behringer video. YouTube said, "Oh, you like Behringer UB-Xa? Have some more Behringer UB-Xa content." And two videos from one individual who was about to sell their UB-Xa keyboard, but at the beginning of the video says, "I was about to sell this, but given the problems I've had with it, I could not in good conscience sell this to somebody else. I've actually returned it to the retailer, and the retailer has given me a full refund." And they had loads of problems with sticky keys. They had problems with voices not working. And there was a whole raft of different things. And they went into great detail. And they were very rational about it. And they said, look, this is just, the quality isn't there. Now, whether that's just a one-off, but I have heard similar stories from other people. I think, I hope you won't mind me saying, but James Dyson, who is in the chat, creator of Amazing Sounds, free ones available on our Patreon site. I think James had to actually do a bit of a fixing job on his keyboard version. Now, obviously, if it's a keyboard issue, then this won't be a problem because it's the desktop version. But it does, I guess Behringer will always have that noose around their necks about, it's cheap, so it must be crap. They're not all crap. They don't all break down. And synthesizers 5 times the price will break down or have issues.
And a great deal more.
Indeed. So,
or as I like to call them, the upstairs bathroom.
Yeah, indeed. I've sometimes found myself thinking, do you know, I might just get one of these just for the hell of it. I know I've kind of got a good selection of analog polys now, but I've heard some stuff from this, and it doesn't say it needs the effects as most of these kinds of synths do, and it doesn't come with it. So
thing is, this responds to Poly Aftertouch and MPE.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's got all the features. Yeah.
For £700 or less than £700.
I know, it's
16
bonkers.
voices.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if
And
it
to come-
works,
yeah.
it's brilliant at that
And
price.
to come onto that screen, I noticed in the picture on the website that the screen is a black screen with white OLED characters. Or I think it's OLED. Certainly, it's white characters, which is fine. But in the video, and certainly on the keyboard version, it was this horrible red LED, which, if you're not colourblind, that's still quite an awkward display to look at and focus on, and it's quite small as well. And if you are colourblind, you're screwed, because red is one of those colours that people who are colourblind just don't see properly. So that could be an issue. So I don't know if the screen has been changed for the desktop version. I would hope it has.
I'm looking at the page now, and directly below each other, there's one picture of it with the video picture with the red display,
And then the stills
the one
with-
below that is the OLED.
Yeah,
Maybe for reasons of cost, it's the red one. Who knows?
I don't know.
But I don't know. Is the answer?
I can't imagine a red screen and a black and white screen can be hugely differentiating in terms of the cost. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, this is hopefully an almost knob per function analog synthesizer. I know that there are going to be menu divey things in there. It's got this atrophy feature where you've got 8 modes of degradation to give
Not
you that
per patch,
authentic.
Not
Not per patch. No, exactly.
Yet, but that's a firmware thing. And and you know what? An LED screen at this price point, an LED screen versus an OLED screen, it matters. It matters. An OLED screen is a lot more when you're down at this price point. It's a lot more.
Yeah. So an interesting thing. I mean, Ken, are you tempted by this at all?
No, not particularly. No. To be honest with you, the OBs were never really my bag. No, what I found interesting was actually the video itself more than the synth. Of the build up to the fact that if you take the keyboard off a synth, it's smaller. Are you fucking kidding me? Really? You took 10 minutes to get around to tell us that?
But
wow.
I have to say that, you know, if I do like one thing about Behringer, it's not all of them, but most of their videos are quite amusing. They don't necessarily take themselves too seriously in that regard, and you know, credit to them for that. I can't remember. Is it Patrick? I think that guy's name is. I like him. You know, I could watch him, you know, do stuff, and you know, it's kind of grown some chuckling, but it's chuckling nonetheless. No, but it's they're whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's never really actually been my not so much my sound. It's not. See, what the problem is having to work on the original Feckers. It puts you off owning one. The OBX, the XA, and the 8, they're all varying degrees of crapitude, starting from the OBX and up. Great sound and everything like that. Although I prefer the older SEM 4 and 8 voice jobs, but look at the price of them buggers.
Yeah. Atrophy.
So you know that's for the elitists, you know. But yeah, it is, when you have to work on these things, you don't have any want to use them in the studio. So it's nothing against the unit itself. It's just no, I wouldn't have one because no. I got a Hydra, mate. I'm all right.
Yeah.
So Robbie's tempted, and I've got to say, because it's Poly Aftertouch and MPE, I'm tempted at that price.
Yeah.
You know, at that price, putting all other things to one side, if it works, and we'll wait and see what the reports are coming in, that's a hell of a machine.
Yeah,
It's a lot of sound, and I quite like the Oberheim sound. I do. Not enough to spend $5,000.
I don't think this
on or
particularly sounds Oberheimy in the true Oberheim way.
It's
That's probably
you
just
know,
as well.
it's in the ballparkish. It is in the
but it's a big
ballparkish,
ballpark.
but it's not. It's not, but I've heard so many Oberheims that don't
Certainly,
sound
everything
like
I've heard from
Oberheims.
it sounds.
Well, Boral Beach is going on about he's looking forward to this Behringer Synth clone. And in all honesty, so am I as well, because I mean, there has already been a Synth clone, and the one thing it really lacked was sounding like a Synth. So hopefully this Behringer one's a hell of a lot closer.
Yeah.
And that one I'd be interested in.
Yeah.
I do like the Synth, even though I have one somewhere. I'll be in the garage, wouldn't it?
I love the Elkers, yeah.
Yeah, and that thing. You want to talk about big? Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, a Synth is big and very, very, very heavy.
What I want to do, and I'm seriously thinking about doing it,
Go on.
is getting one of these, whether it's the desktop or the keyboard version, and a certain other polyphonic analog synth that isn't out yet but soon will be, and this baby, and doing not necessarily a head-to-head comparison, but just saying, this is what you get for this amount of money, and this is what you get for this amount of money, and let's see how good they are, how nice sounding they are, because ultimately that's the thing.
I'd love to know how the desktop version of this responds to MPE Poly Aftertouch from the PolyBrute. I'd love to know how that works.
Yeah, I mean the MPE on the PolyBrute is pretty basic, so it might perform better, connected to the Hydra, which if I was to do that, I would do that. But I'm sort of tempted to just say, what? I'll invest, and then maybe I'll sell the one that I don't like, which I know won't be that one, but because that's cold dead hands synth territory, that is. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that sort of fares against stuff that is considerably more expensive. But there you go, that's UB-Xa D, the desktop version. You order it now, it will start shipping, or apparently it's shipping from the factory to the distribution network and retailers. Of course, we spoke about it last week that Behringer are considering doing this direct-to-customer thing, but not yet. So you still have to go to good old-fashioned internet stores, or even more old-fashioned bricks and mortar, to pick some of this stuff up, and only if it's one of their partners.
Have you seen Ian's comment?
Nope. Better try and PE with the instrument. That's very true, because that is a really pokey MPE thing. But I haven't got an instrument. So Ian, your challenge, should you choose to accept, is to get a UB-Xa and try it with an instrument and report back forthwith.
Yes.
Indeed.
There we go.
So there you go. That's the UB-Xa-D. But of course, it wasn't just the UB-Xa-D that they spoke about this week. The other thing was this. And of course, there were gasps all around, because it's another Behringer original synthesizer, which, to my knowledge anyway, doesn't appear to be a clone of anything at all. So yeah, this is the Behringer Proton, which is a companion to their Neutron. You can see the naming convention here. But this is an interesting paraphonic semi-modular synthesizer. Dual VCOs, 2 multimode filters, 2 VCAs, 4 envelopes, and a wavefolder, all in a desktop or Euro-rackable format with lots of patching capabilities there on the right. I can't believe the video on this is about 12 minutes, so I couldn't upload it to the system here anyway. But this actually sounds like quite an interesting unit. It's got so they haven't got a picture of the. I swear I had a picture of this. What I don't like about Behringer's website is they do this with their images. You can't sort of zoom. You have to. But you've got 2 oscillators. You've got oscillator sync in there as well. 5 waveforms, which are all sweepable, so you can sort of blend between them. It's got pulse width modulation. You've got sub oscillators on both of those as well. Dual filters, multi-mode filters. I don't know what they're based off of, if they're based off anything at all. A couple of envelopes, LFOs, 2 ASR envelopes in there as well. And then say lots of patching capabilities. There's a MIDI socket in there as well, and it's got external inputs. I didn't see whether you could feed the external through some of the filters on there, but I would assume that maybe you could. So an interesting little unit. Sounds okay as well. So they can do it. They can actually come up with something. Although I hate to say it, but I am waiting for somebody to say, "Oh, this is just a clone of something else." But it's not something I am familiar with. So now apparently Ben says if I right-click and open image in new tab, does that open the image? Oh, it does. Look at that. He's clever. Look at that.
We can't see it, but there we go.
There it is. That's a clear review. Thank you for the technical support.
And there's the external audio in 4 rows down, 4 across.
There you go. Yeah. So this is an interesting unit, and I would like to have a go with one of those. And no, it's not a sign of me heading down the modular route. It's got nothing to do with it. But yeah, thoughts on this, gentleman?
Kent.
Price.
319.
That's pretty cool.
Names. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yep, looks like a giggle.
And it sounds filthy. The filters sound filthy. It's again, I'm saying 2 products from Behringer, but this one's entirely their own. I wasn't that taken with the Neutron. Proton it's a bit of a beast for that money. Yeah, it's a good thing. And there's so many ways of modulating. There's so many ways of squampling and squippling the sound. It's got additional ASR envelopes as well as the ADSRs, so it's got 2 sets of ADSRs. And then two attack release envelopes as well, which you can add. There's biasing on the VCAs. There's so much going on here. Attenuators, so built-in attenuators for attenuating signal levels between different things. This interests me enormously, and at this price, it interests me very enormously.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm worried about at all is the patch system. It looks like at this price, is that going to be robust?
Well, there's no reason it shouldn't be. I mean, it's not like they're the only people that use that sort of style. I'm looking directly at my...
It's not the style, it's that there's so many with the rest of the synth at this price. There's always a trade-off, price and quality. There's always a trade-off.
True.
So I worry about that, but the sound of it, poof. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat, I think it was Dudley Baker. Yep. So what's the filter design? According to the specs, it's a dual low pass, high pass, band pass, switchable 12 dB per octave design.
Variable state. Yeah.
So.
Oh no, it's not variable state, is it?
No. It's you pick one, play with it. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I like that. And it's got wave folding as well, which will always get you something interesting.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Out of there with.
It's all right for a good price.
Full size MIDI, USB, external audio ins and outs, a headphone socket, paraphonic.
Well, I'm old enough to remember that when something like this came out, it would be 3.5K.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
I can remember the days.
Yeah.
Because the last 30 years went by in 10 minutes. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah, sort of that. Yeah.
In those days, weren't donkeys the main mode of transport?
Mode of transport, yeah.
Yes.
And fuel. Yeah. Absolutely.
And dinner.
And dinner.
Yeah.
Oh.
He always calls me that.
Oh, excuse me.
It's a good thing. No,
it's a good thing. Look at that. Look at it. What are we turning into? Come on, look. We're supposed to be the mafia. What are we turning into?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, clearly we're being sponsored and paid enormous sums of money by UVI to say all these things. But these are good.
These are good. These are good.
At this price, it's really difficult to argue with, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody got ripped off this time. Cool.
There you go. So that's 2 Behringer products in one show, and we've actually been nice about it.
And everybody's still alive.
And everyone's still alive. Although I did notice that the Synth Samurai is no longer in the chat. I think my phone call worked.
Oh.
Hey, go and pay somebody a visit. No, I'm sure he's still there. Maybe recording a part of our show to put in one of his YouTube shorts. Who knows?
He's synthing with the fishes.
He's synthing with the fishes. Yeah.
Very, very good.
My wife, she's become most vocal on the subject. Where is the money? When are you going to get the money? Why haven't you got the money? And so on and forth. Anyway, Joe Montagna did a way better job of that. Let's talk about synths for sale. Old synths for sale. Old synths for sale.
Synths for
basically,
sale.
This is the reason why Kent is pulling his face is this is what Kent is going to be getting through his workshop in the next 6 months, because people will buy this and then send it to Kent to have it sorted out. I'm sure maybe a lot of this is actually quite good, but I actually went to the lengths of filtering. No, it didn't. It's lost all my filters. So while I waffle, I'm going to pick up my filters once more. But yeah, this is the Sound Gas auctions, which are always a good place to buy some good value equipment at fairly reasonable prices. But let me share the screen. So here we go, Sound Gas. This auction ends on the 28th of July at 6 p.m. UK time. And I've filtered out by synthesizers, samplers, drum machines, and MIDI equipment. So that's kind of the stuff that we tend to cover here. So let's have a quick look and see what bargains we have here this time round. So we've got an S1000 there. Current bid £30. Their estimate is 100 to 150. That's a classic. I mean, I'm sort of interested in that, because you can see, because I'm watching it. There's a couple of S6000s. I don't think they're Robert's ones, but they're expected to sort of get anything between 330 and 360. There's one of those little horrible S20s. Never liked those. One of those in there. That 360 Systems instant replay is interesting. I don't really know much about that, but it's 360 Systems. I think, wasn't Glenn Darcy involved with them at one point? I don't know.
Pass.
There's a Roland CV interface, the OP8. Mm-hmm. If you have any of that wonderful era of Roland
System
gear.
100M.
Yeah.
And as such.
There's an Acetone FR1.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going for very much. There's a Kurzweil K2500. Korg keyboard mixer. There's a Nectar Impact. There's an APC Mini going for current starting bid is £5. Not expected to make much more than that by the size of it. Complete Control Mark IIs. There's a Mark of the Unicorn MIDI Express. There's not very much money. Hang on a minute. Where's the other stuff that was there? Hang on. Let me clear my search. No, it can't have done, because the auction goes on. Let me just filter again by.
There's a Juno 106.
Yeah, say there was a 106. There's a D50. So here's stuff for Eddie. Look, there's some JV, Roland JV cards and expansions. There's a Juno 106 there. Current bid £400. Expected to get up to around 1100. I reckon it will do that easily.
The D50 current bid is 75. Estimate between 200 and 250.
Apparently needs a new battery, so they've not been able to test it. But I am definitely watching that one. I'm even watching this, the SC8850 sound canvas, because I do like a sound canvas. So I'm interested.
I love the
in that
D50 photo.
Yeah, isn't it? Actually, let's be fair to them. They should have picked a better photo, because there are pictures of the actual keyboard.
Oh, there you go.
And it doesn't look too awful. But as it says in the description, needs some light servicing work and a new battery, otherwise in good condition. So what else? There was an MC4. Now that is nice if you can figure out how to use it. Oh look, there's a Behringer Neutron, so you can get the you can start your Behringer semi-modular collection right there. Base Station 2, Sequential Pro 3.
Wow, that's a price.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
600 to 800 quid. That's the estimate, though. I mean, who knows?
For
Let's just see if it's
£1,700 synth.
tested and working. So, yeah, not bad. Look at that DX7. Only 200 to 300 estimate on
You
that.
don't need another.
Oh, you always need another DX7.
You can never have too many DX7s.
You can never have too many DX7s. I mean, I've got too many DX7s, but there's a nice little 202 there. Horrible things to use, but you might like those. I've never seen one of these before. What's this? Tape noise
Tape
2.
noise? Yeah, what is that? Just gonna open that up.
There's
and
no
have a look.
description. It just says that it's for UK bidders only. I mean,
Mellotron for dummies.
I'm going to zoom in on that bit. It looks very much like a homemade thing, doesn't it? Look at that.
It does. Interesting.
It's a 2-voice synthesizer keyboard with... Yeah, that's odd.
I love the bit of plastifoam between the shelf and the keyboard.
Yeah.
Portatron tape synthesizer?
No, this is tape noise 2-voice synthesizer. No other information. Yeah. If you want to ask about that, give them a call.
Maybe it's just a one-off.
And then First Man sequence synthesizer there. Yep, I mean they've had some more interesting stuff. But there's some good little things in there. If you want to go and check that out, it's soundgasauctions.com. I'm sure one of the lads has already put the link up in there. If they haven't, they will do soon. Soundgasauctions.com. You have to sign up to bid, and you have to register your payment details before you bid, and that's always kind of the case with these kind of auction sites. But that's a nice collection of things there at Soundgas. We should be on commission if we sell it, or they sell any of those things. But yeah, I'm always keeping an eye on a few things. Yeah. Well, indeed, yeah. There ought to be. I think there's going to be another Behringer auction coming up fairly soon.
Yeah,
usually does a couple of years. So but this is
So
always a
that
good way to get
keyboard,
some good stuff.
From what I can see, I've just zoomed in on it. It is homemade, and it looks like it's nothing more than a controller for for modular synths
right.
or Eurorack or whatever. That's what it looks like. I can't see that it's. It looks like it can voice mode, one
the
voice.
final
2 voice.
VMA auction.
Oh yeah, I've just noticed.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not surprised, because ever since Brexit, Peter has been
Oh,
more and more.
Nightmare.
Yeah. Every
No.
time I sort of speak to him or hear from him, it's just like, oh no, bloody, no, I can't do this. I have to do that. Yeah.
There's there's 199 lots, and there's a lot of other stuff in here that you weren't seeing before. Very.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just filtered out the
Filtered
synthesizers.
it.
Yeah, and the mixers.
Yeah.
Mixers.
There's a lot of stuff there. Lots of stuff.
There is.
Yeah. Always
Indeed.
good for a giggle. Always good. So that is Soundgas Auctions. What else have we got? I think. Oh yeah, well we need to mention this to everyone. So you might remember, wasn't that long ago, we had the delightful, wonderful Kim Bjorn from Bukes on, along with Dr. Mike Metley and a whole bunch of other people that we've had on about these things. But of course, the reason we had them on the last time was because of their new upcoming publication, which is the Mini Moog book, which they successfully funded, more than successfully funded, over on Kickstarter, and it's gone into production, and there was an update today. So everything is going on schedule and on plan. They've managed to get more information, more pictures, behind the scenes stories. Everything will be going to press fairly soon. They're going to hopefully have some test copies for you to browse through if you attend a NobCon at the beginning of September in Chicago. So hopefully there'll be some stuff there as well. So yeah, lots of good news coming out. I can't wait to get my copy of that. It's going to be an excellent tome, as all Bukes books are.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
How many backers did they get in the end? It was quite a
They
few,
got
wasn't it?
1,180.
Wow.
which raised €93,500.
Nice.
But of course, you can still pre-order it. You don't need to just wait until it come out. You can just click on the pre-order button there and just pre-order it at the non-discounted price. Or is it still a discounted price, but not as discounted? 75. Yeah, so it's what's it in UK? 65 UK, and then shipping on top of that. But you can still order that now if you missed out on the pre-orders. So there you go. But yeah, that's a brilliant book, and I'm looking forward to that. And Joe's done an amazing job. What I've seen so far, it looks really cool, and it can be the definitive kind of book on the subject. So there you go. Did you pre-order one, Kent?
I can't remember. Probably.
You'll know when it arrives.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it will be good.
Talking
Talking of books, I've been slowly working my way through the wonderful Electronic Perspectives by Dr. Tom Rea, which is a fantastic book. Let me just bring that up onto screen. It's a thing of beauty in terms of its physical content. So
That is lovely.
It is, but it comes in its own hard slip case. It's a hardback book. It's got amazing pictures that have all been, scanned at the highest possible resolutions, and all of Tom's articles from Keyboard Magazine from 1977 to 1981 have been reproduced. And Tom is just like one of the nicest guys you're ever likely to meet. And this book is amazing. So thoroughly recommend that one. And it's not a huge amount. I was talking to Tom today, and he was saying that he's trying to convince people that this is actually, when you talk about like textbooks for schools and things, and the ridiculous prices people charge, this has got so much information in it, bang for buck. I mean, this is what I think, £78. It's a lot of book for 78 quid. I know. I mean, you might have to ask for it for Christmas or something, but it's such a good book. Such a lovely physical object as well. So
It is. And talking of books,
synthesizer, that would be cool.
do you know what? I would
Somebody should do
pay. I would pay for a pop-up book.
Yeah,
I
somebody
really
should
would.
do that.
And a book stand that was essentially a mini Moog, print of a mini Moog. There we go. That's your stand for reading your books. I'd buy that.
I would like to see the Yamaha GX1 in pop-up form with the speakers.
What?
There's a challenge. With all the different manuals on different pieces of card. That killed the conversation. We could have just we've got half an hour to go.
Eight
Look,
foot
it's not
speakers.
stretching.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't got half an hour because we've got very little time indeed for an unboxing.
Oh yes, of course we've got the unboxing to come.
Oh yes. Did we
Before-
have any guesses?
Well, before we do that, we said that we were a couple of specials because we said at the top of the show we're here every Friday from 7 p.m. UK time, but we do occasionally do specials. We've got something brewing for
Probably
a couple of weeks' time, which I think you will all really, really enjoy. But I can't say what that is just at the moment. However, that man over there has been busting his gonads, doing not just an unboxing video, but a review video of an upside-down Sonicware ELZ1 Play.
Upside down. My head. Hang on. We'll switch it on. If it's
Is the mic
plugged
on?
Is the mic on? Is the thing on?
in. Oh, there we go.
So
Wow.
Andrew's finally got his after, and lots of people, because they had a small production issue with the screen, or the plastic cover that went on the screen. They're finally getting these out to people now. And because I was such a lazy, because I've had mine for blooming ages, but Andrew's actually got the gumption and made a video, which he's currently editing. And if you're a Patreon subscriber or a YouTube member, you'll get that ahead of everyone else, and then we'll release it to the wider public. And we just about hear something, but your microphone's behind. There you go. It's a wonderful
Can't believe
instrument.
the
It really
speaker.
is.
So here's a really funny thing, right? So it's not a full review. What it is how does it work straight out the box without the manual? And so it was a voyage of discovery and idiocy, and I'm trying to cut it down from the 97 hours that it is. But it took me 2 days before I discovered. I was looking at the levels on screen because I was recording it into Cubase, and then me on a camera and all that stuff. And I thought the level's a bit weird, so I adjusted the level. But there's a level thing on the back.
There it is.
There it is. It's a little level pot, and I thought that's the level. So I adjusted it, and Cubase was still quite hot. And I'm thinking, what's that noise? And I took the cans off, and it's got speakers. I'd completely forgotten it's got speakers. I'm going, what's that noise? What's that noise? And I'm such a tosser. I really am. But it's a heavy, gorgeous thing. Wait for my terrible review.
If you want to see that ahead of everybody else, make sure you're
Yeah.
a Patreon subscriber or a YouTube member. You'll get that first,
Or
and
a
then we'll
glutton
make
punishment.
it available to the wider public.
Yeah, and we'll thrust it on everyone else to suffer as
That's
well.
it. Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. We have got some special stuff coming that's not just the regular Friday evening show. So go for it. Right. I was going to tell you about this dream, wasn't I? That I had. I had a dream.
Did it involve nuns?
No, it involved
Oh.
Alex Ball.
Alex is what?
Okay.
Alex Ball.
All right.
I had this awful dream. You know, these dreams sometimes when you wake up from the dream, but you're still in the dream. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I woke up from this dream. In my dream, I was still dreaming, and I dreamt that unfortunately Alex Ball had met a rather unsavoury demise. I don't know how. I can't remember how. But Alex was no longer with us, and I was given this news, and we weren't supposed to tell anyone. But I was devastated, and I knew everybody else would be devastated. And it really, it's one of those dreams that just you wake up and you feel really like troubled by it for an hour or two. It was horrible. It really was horrible. So,
You
Alex,
poor thing.
yeah, I hope you're still okay, Alex.
Alex, get in the chat and say you're okay.
I kept saying to my wife in this dream, "Oh, he's wonderful. She's got these gorgeous children, and his lovely wife who puts up with him doing all of this stuff. And what are they going to do?" I was distraught in this dream. I really was. And I woke up troubled. But I hope Alex is okay. Yeah, who's getting you? That's callous. That's cold.
I want his lawnmower.
So if you watch this, Alex, it just proves that I do think about you often in my dreams. Except
I don't know if that makes it better or not.
Yeah, that's just weird. You just
dear.
made something very, very weird.
Oh, yeah.
Can we have an unboxing now?
Yeah, come on, Kent.
Oh,
Get your
God.
yah-yahs out.
Oh,
Get your
dear.
yah-yahs out,
My
boy.
sun-dried prunes.
Let me put Kent full screen. Okay, everyone. We've got. I haven't got the sound effects at the moment because I'm having trouble with my sound effects audio and the software that I use. So I can't do drum rolls. I'd love to be able to do a drum roll, but
Yeah, well,
it's just
yeah.
not going to happen.
Now, I blame... is Synchrotron in the chat?
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Well, he was. Well, I'm blaming him for this.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
yeah. This is down to him.
Does this use cables other than the power cable?
Essentially, no. Not really, no. But anyway, the thing is, the important thing about this is I got it for £120 from
English pounds.
Gear for Music.
Wow.
And I'm sure it costs more than £120. But this is what they would call a B stock.
Oh, okay.
There you
Oh, he's got a Beat Step Pro.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
No
so I got
mention.
one of these,
Oh.
and it was 120 quid.
Wow.
And I'm sure there's supposed to be more than that, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm not familiar.
But
with
essentially what it was somebody had bought it.
Yeah, it should be 240.
Yeah, you go.
You basically got it half price.
Yeah, we bought it, didn't get on with it, sent it back, so it's B stock.
Brilliant.
So I went, okay. They go, yeah, we've got a B stock one. I went, yeah, and?
Have that.
Oh, you want it then? Yeah, I'll have that. No problem. So there you go. So something else I can put in the studio and
Not
hold
used.
dust for me. No, I'm gonna try this out because I think it's quite cute. I was watching Andy on his show last Saturday using it.
Yes.
And I'm going,
I watched that. Yeah.
oh, I love all this all in one place kind of thing. Really appeals. Instead of having
Like an A to
drag-
Z.
Yeah, instead of having to drag crap all over the bloody room. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, yeah, I'll have some of that.
There you go. Thank you, Gear for Music, and your
Well
lovely
done.
gear covered box. Very
So
nice.
there you
I'm
go.
Just having a look to see if they've got any more. Now, the beat steps and have always interested me, but
Yeah.
I've got so many small things that control other things that.
I beg your pardon.
Well, I'm still having a lot of fun with the MiniBrute, MiniBrute 2S.
That's what you call it now.
Yeah. Hey, darling, come and have a look at my MiniBrute. But yeah, they do some very cool stuff.
Well, I'm looking forward to the drone version, the Sonicware drone machine.
Yes, the Ambient Zero.
Which I ordered. So I'm
Yes.
looking forward to that together with this.
Yeah,
Suddenly
forgot
it
I
is
ordered one of them as well, didn't I?
I've got one
and
coming.
These, and I could be doing in serious hardware jam territory. Yeah, I don't think any of you have heard these things, so I ought to get that up and running as well for you to.
If it opens.
Maybe
I thought it would
will
come
do
There
a
might be
video
bricks
on one
inside.
of these
Yeah.
as well. Yeah,
Why
let's
not?
do
Oh, I see. Needs an extraction manual to get the box open. Oh, God. This better work out better than that bloody whatnot. Oh, look at this! Look! Ooh,
Not so much Arturia as Alzheimer.
look at this! Ooh,
Oh, that is rather cute.
lovely and pretty. Absolutely faultless. Look at that.
Yep.
Lovely bit of kit.
It's all very well made stuff, I have to say.
Got my credit card. American Express.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All the cables. The guy did put all the cables back. Yeah. Oh, and I'm losing them. Hang on.
I don't think you're going to worry too much about cables, Ken, ever.
No, that's true.
What cables do you get with that? Do they break out MIDI cables and USB?
It's
or?
micro USB to two micro USBs. 3.5 to MIDI.
Yeah.
3.5 to MIDI. 3.5 to MIDI. USB A to a mini micro one.
Yeah, because the BeatStep Pros, I think, were pre-USB-Cs, weren't they?
And all the relevant Cosma walloper that does come with it. And of course, a very tasty tea bag.
Of course, yes.
And does it come with, so now you've bought it as B stock, does it come with sort of software licenses and things?
Yeah, they
you can
generally come with a
download?
handful of things.
Yeah, no, it'll all be available
Available.
under the usual circumstances. Yeah. So the only thing that's technically wrong with this is it already has the sticker with a sticker over it
Yeah, yeah.
to close it up. So that's it.
Yep.
And that's all that's technically wrong. And I thought, for that money,
Can't
Yeah.
go wrong. Can't
I
go wrong.
thought, well, while we're at it, do you have a PolyBrute 12 there that maybe somebody dropped or accidentally
Sneezed
sweat
over.
on? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to take 2K off it, and I'm your man. So, can
Well-
you hear that puppy?
Yeah, I can. Oh, bless. Apparently, PolyBrute 12s are now landing in stores. Certainly, I know that Perfect Circuit have got demo models. I think the first batch is due to be delivered in the next few weeks, and then there's a second batch, I believe, in September.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going to be coming, out there, and I can't wait because people are going to go absolutely crazy over it. Yeah, good stuff. There you go.
Look at
Tune
that.
in for
Oh,
some news
lovely.
information, and you get an unboxing as well,
Beautiful,
free of
we go.
charge.
beautiful piece,
Free of
beautifully made.
Yeah, they are very good. Very
Lovely
good stuff.
Very, very nice indeed. Your fault, Andy.
Yeah.
Talking of which, if you want to be influenced by Andy, then go and check out his live stream on a Saturday morning, although he's been doing some impromptu stuff during the week, I've noticed. But he does his main live stream at 10 o'clock in the morning UK time every Saturday. So go and check him out, if you will. It's always
bring a credit card.
Check him out.
Check him out, Lake. So yeah, there we go. What else have we got? Anything? So we've
Synth Mafia.
Oh, I was going to yeah, I was going to share this because we spoke about it earlier on. This is Babs, or as her name on YouTube and here is Lady Aptitude. She is an incredible musician and a really lovely human being as well. And she has recently released a new track called How Do You Juno? And I think we all recognise the guy there. The story behind this is quite interesting. That there was a show on many years ago on Sonic State where they talked about the Junos, and Babs got this idea and she started sampling those bits from the show and never really did anything for about 8 years, and then has finally kind of put it all together into this very cool little track. And I've queued it up to the bit that really impressed me, because I know Babs has got the key chops, but I didn't realise how good her guitar chops were. Have a copper load of this. So I'm going to stop it there in case we get a copyright claim from Babs. And Babs, if we do, could you like not just wave it by, please? That'd be cool. But yeah, go and check that out. The channel is Lady Aptitude, APP TITUDE. The link has been posted in the chat. So yeah, go and check that out. It's brilliant. Go and buy the track. I think is it on her Bandcamp?
Yeah. What guitar is that, Babs? It looks
electric.
It looks like it could be a PRS or a something.
Yeah, Babs,
like
come on. She's in the chat.
Finish.
What
Lovely finish.
What is the guitar?
Brown.
Apart from a piece of wood with some strings on it.
Please like and subscribe.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely
that's not the
do.
guitar.
Yeah, do give her a like and subscribe. And yeah, check out her Bandcamp channel for more of the same. It's a carving, apparently.
Oh, well, I just took one piece
like
of wood
a wood
and
carving.
chiseled it
Yeah,
out.
Yeah.
Like a wood carving.
Wooden brown guitar.
Great
Electric.
playing.
Yeah,
Great
no,
playing.
brilliant
Yeah,
playing.
really enjoyed it.
like that. Yeah. So give her a like and a subscribe. Go and get her stuff from Bandcamp.
You know, we said earlier that no one's popped the question.
Has somebody
Babs.
proposed? Yeah. No, get in the queue, mate. Get in the queue.
What?
Get in the queue.
Well,
I was there first.
the thing is, Dina would be disappointed because I did propose to her first.
There you go. See?
This isn't the time to do a Jimmy Carr joke, is it?
No, it's not.
No.
No. Okay. No.
Pub.
Anyway, we've got 13 odd minutes to kill. I want to see, by the way, try and get the show ended before we hit the 2-hour mark, and I have a very good reason for it, because StreamYard, which is our current streaming platform of choice, have just introduced this new AI feature where it will go through your video and pick out parts that you can like post as like YouTube shorts and stuff. It's very lazy. You just press a button and it goes and picks like half a dozen of these things.
Oh, okay.
But it will only work up to 2 hours in length. If you go over the 2-hour mark, it doesn't like it. So I want to see if I can chop.
I've got a tool for that.
I know this. I've got a tool for this. I want to try it. So I'm going to try and make sure that we finish the show before the 2-hour mark. So we've got we've got literally right from now 15 minutes. Okay, so let's see if we can get it in there. And yeah, that's wrong terminology, I am sure.
So many
yeah,
clips
what was I
in this.
going to? So I was going.
Not that we're running on vapor here. I mean, you know.
What was I was going to move to something else, and it's just completely gone. No, this is old age for you folks. This is
The
what happens.
ProSynth Network lamps are coming along very
Oh
nicely.
yes, lovely, jolly
Right.
good.
Yeah, what's happening with them?
Well, we had a little problem.
Go on.
Okay.
When the what we were calling at that time the final production model, we found that if you put it on the copy table, it would turn on, and if you picked it up, it would turn off.
Oh,
And then if you put it on the copy table and it turned on, and you left it, after about 15 seconds, it would go out. But it wouldn't do it if you put it on a leather sofa. It works perfectly on a leather sofa, but wouldn't work on the coffee table.
so now we've got to sell these things with a leather sofa.
Yeah, so basically, so we got to get. So after, weirdly, it's just it's a lot of weird things because of the wood being organic. Oh mate, it just. Oh. But anyway, it's all been redesigned again, and we've got it sorted now.
Good, excellent.
So production will be starting shortly.
And
Brilliant.
you're going to sell them?
Yes,
Good. I'll have one.
there's lots of people want one apparently.
Yeah. No, I'll have one. I'll have one immediately.
Well, I've just remembered what I was going to do.
Ah, there you go.
Thank you, gentlemen. So, first of all, Tanuki D wants to know, Kent, do you need an apprentice? We'll work for beer money and roll-ups.
Just as well, because that's what I get paid in.
Synth Samurai did leave a question earlier on. I don't know if he's still around. Behringer Model 15, Neutron and Proton versus the Moog Sound Studio. Which do you think is better? I couldn't answer that question because I don't own any of that gear. But I guess, you know, the big difference there is budget.
Sound
I don't know.
Studio. The Moog
So
Sound.
the Moog Sound Studio is
Moog.
3 of their desktop modules. Yes,
Oh, okay.
like the Mother 32, the DFAM, the Subharmonicon, the new Labyrinth, the Spectravox. They're all these little desktop
Thing that
modules.
looks like the Proton.
The thing that looks like that, but you can mount them with, you know, in a stand. And there's about there's been about 5 or 6 units over the years. I think there's only 5 now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think one is better. One set is cheaper. That's for sure. The Moog Sound is the Moog Sound.
But that Labyrinth, that's, you know, I'm not particularly, I'm not that sort of blown away or don't really want to engage with modular. That's a lovely beast.
It when you play with it, you get it. I look at it and think, oh, it's just another semi-modular type thing. Doesn't really interest me. But when I played with it, it was like, hey, that's fun. Not necessarily my thing, but it was fun, and I enjoyed it. So
Not the Moog C3 though, is it?
no, quite. What do you mean? So I don't know. Is the answer? I don't know if any of them are better. They are probably just different. Yeah, but it's you pay your money, takes your choice.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, just make bloomin' good music with, or bad music. Just make music. Yeah.
It occurs to me that Tanuki D, that wants the apprentice job with you, is, there we go, him. Is that
Or her.
actually the guitarist from Tenacious D, who's now looking for work?
Who knows?
I'm pretty sure Jack and Carl will kiss and make up, but it was a silly thing for Carl to say.
I hope they do. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
'cause
was.
they
He
are brilliant.
apologised for it
Yeah.
immediately, but yeah,
They are brilliant.
they are very,
I've got to
very
do this because I have to do this every week. Thank you very much to the Hand of Lenin
Here we go.
for
Here
the
we go.
$1.99 donation. Much appreciated from the Hand of Lenin.
The Synth
Thank you very
KGB.
much. Thank you very much. It's not very good, is it? I should probably have a knock on the door myself soon. There'll be a couple of.
I did a brilliant Jack Nicholson yesterday, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, just so you know.
All right, cool, brilliant. Tape it next time, why don't you?
Oh, okay.
Technomatic, it's probably a bit late in the show, but Technomatic is a list of gear for sale. By all means, the thing is, I don't think you can post a link in the chat yourself. So, maybe
post it on the website.
Stick it on the Facebook group, and then if you remind me next week, I'll share it here as well. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. Technomatic, by the way, is Simon Forsyth, and if you don't know who Simon Forsyth is, where the hell have you been? Simon is a lovely, lovely guy. If you ever go to like Super Booth, Synth Fest, or he's generally helping Nick out, and yeah.
Is there any proper synthesizers in the list?
Oh, I'm sure this is Simon we're talking. Of course, it's all proper
synthesizers. They have to be £5,000 or more.
Exactly. They're all £5,000 or more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, massive
this
shout out.
stylophone, £5,600.
Massive shout out to the wonderful, the lovely Carl Bedford, who I saw last week. The Synth Mafia is real, and I'm the EU boss, mate. I wouldn't argue with that because you're 10 times as tall as I am. He's built like a brick house, that guy. Jeez, yeah. But what a lovely bloke. Great to see him last weekend at Gearfest. Was it last weekend? I can't remember that. Yeah, I think it was last weekend. Yeah. Great to see him as always, and I'm looking forward to catching up with him at Synthfest and Christronica as well. Waking up with a Tambour Wolf in your bed. Yes, indeed. That should be our mark, shouldn't it?
A headless Tambour Wolf.
A headless Tambour Wolf, no less. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your donation, much appreciated. If you want to donate to the show, then you can either do that through Super Chat, Super Stickers, or the thank you button if you're watching on Catch Up. And if you are watching on Catch Up, where were you? But thank you for coming in, and of course you can join us on Patreon.
My daughter's wedding.
My daughter's wedding. You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, asking for a favour. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining. And if you want to support us on Patreon or YouTube members, you can do so there for a monthly fee of a measly $2.
It did sound more like Eddie Izzard with an asthma attack, but
okay,
we'll let it slide.
Eddie Izzard with an asthma attack. That's a brilliant thought. I've not seen enough of him recently. I used to love going and seeing him live.
Anyway, this is a synthesizer show.
So it is.
Let's wrap things up because I want to get in under that 2-hour mark to see if the automated thing will
Bye then.
work. But we've got a few minutes.
All right.
What are you doing this weekend, Mr. Spong? Anything interesting?
Working.
In the workshop? Yeah, but what's in the workshop?
A PS3200 finish.
Oh, yes. You're doing that the other day.
That looper pedal thing. It's the size of a small car.
Okay.
Rush.
Behringer UB-Xa D.
No. Rush something. Rash.
Oh, Head Rush.
Head Rush. Thank you. The Head Rush.
Yep.
I've had to fit a new USB socket.
Okay.
With all 11 contacts on it.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, and then reassemble that. I have two CS80s to look at. I have the 2600 I do have to have a look at because he's getting impatient. There's a Trident Mark 1, a Jupiter 8, a Mini Moog, what was the other thing? Jupiter 4, and a Juno 60.
So the retirement's going well.
Yeah.
You go, you think you got out and they just pull you back in.
Yeah, it's the mafia for you.
There we go. Well, enjoy. Yourself, Andrew? You're going to finish editing?
I'm going to be working on this kind of thing, bringing these pictures in over the weekend.
You get the statue cheap because of the missing bits.
Yeah. That's exactly what. Yeah, it cost me half as much.
B stock.
It was quite dangerous to move.
Venus de Milo, yeah.
It was quite dangerous to move, but then I realised actually it wasn't. It was armless.
Oh dear me!
I'm almost glad that the buttons don't work. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, we look forward to that.
I'll be editing that.
Look forward to
that.
Can
I take this a moment to thank Ty Unwin, famous film score composer, who recommended the cat drinking fountain for Lily. She loves it. Absolutely loves it. Although, even though it had 3 litres of water in it, dragged it through the cat flap and tipped all the water all over the floor.
Did Ty tell you about his delivery the other day?
Yes. Yes.
That happened. We were on the phone and the doorbell goes. He says, "I'll be right back. I've just something's being delivered." About an hour later, he calls back and he says, "I'm sorry about that." I said, "What was it? Another bloody water feature?" He said, "Well, funny you should say that."
Yeah.
But they took the gates out.
Yeah.
Oh dear me, bless him.
Right, they didn't want to take offence.
No, they took the gate.
I don't know, thank Ty Unwin for not turning up.
Ty, we didn't say this. I know he watches.
Oh,
He's probably watching right now.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for the
He lives in a
message.
flat in Bradford. That's where he lives. He's got a flat in Bradford. That's his, he pretends he lives in sort of Oxfordshire.
Yeah, it's all green screen.
It's all green screen. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a bed. It's a cuckoo flat in Bradford. Yeah.
Anyway,
That sounds quite appealing.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be back same time, same place next week. You might have a special sometime between now and next week, or it might not. It all depends if Andrew gets it done in time. But there'll be something coming. Don't forget, tomorrow, as I said, Andy Synchrotron on his YouTube channel, 10 a.m. for his weekly live stream, where he does all sorts of droney, wonderfully guitar-y, ebo-y type things. It's all very nice to work to. Then a little bit later on at 2 p.m. UK time, you've got Ramsey and his regular Saturday show, which you've got all the regulars on there. I'm sure that Darren and Ian and Andy and Andy and I don't know if there'll be anybody else on there. And I think there's also like an open channel where, you know, if you're watching as a guest, you can pop in as well. And then also Henrik is back with his senior synth stream. I think I've got that the right way around. At 8 p.m. UK, so that's JX3D. I think Andy, there he is. Yeah, Andy's posted the link in there.
Yeah.
Lady Aptitude, Babs, you do not have to thank me. We thank you for the lovely music.
Yeah,
you do.
absolutely.
Thank you also to Ben from Musines, to Andy Synth Addict, and to Andy Brooks for moderating the chat. You do a spectacular job, as always, posting all the links in there for everyone to watch.
You've got 30 seconds.
Yeah, and no, we've got 2 minutes.
And then the
According to
outro.
my clock here in the counter. If that doesn't work, then anyway, yeah. So, and this weekend I shall be mostly reviewing something that is behind that over there, something that I can't show. I'm messing around with that and doing some more writing and listening to the hell out of this over and over and over again because it's brilliant. And my wife has got her art exhibition tomorrow afternoon or evening. So I've got to keep
good
getting
luck
around
to your wife with her art
yeah,
exhibition.
she's been doing some wonderful
Yes.
stuff. So there we go. Anyway, and on that note, we shall say goodbye, and we will be back same time, same place next week. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe, and share us around, and that would be fantastic. And we will see you same time, same place next week. Have a great weekend. Have a great week.
There might be a
everyone.
synth pub,
yeah.
pubbly pub
A
on
puppy
Sunday.
On
A pubbly
Sunday.
pub on Sunday if there's nothing else going on. If nobody
Cool.
else is streaming anything.
Okay. Excellent stuff. Brilliant. All right. See you around, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Au revoir.